shall gladly pay.
Listen now of a time long past when sorcery thrived and wild adventure was forever in the offing. A deadly sorcerer is called out of nightmare by a ruthless king driven into evil. And a mystical sword is forged for a mighty warrior who rises out of legend to topple a kingdom. The Sword and the Sorcerer.
Hello.
Yo.
Oh, I guess it had echo a bit there. I forgot the echo cancellation. But anyway, welcome to World of Conan.
No, actually,
Another-
I was hearing it because I had the video open on another window or something, but I don't.
Oh,
think
right. Okay. But anyway, welcome to World of Conan. All you barbarians out there, from beyond Vanaheim to the south, to the Black Kingdoms, to east, to the Kitai, and to the west, to the Barkhan Isles. But no picks allowed. We are reviewing the Sword and the Sorcerer Part 2 because we got too far along. We didn't get too far along in the first part, and we were so long in the stream itself, we had to leave. But we're joined once again by the Brother Scrin 2, this time, not just the one, and 0716. Hello! How are you guys
Hello.
doing?
Also, this is Mika. She's not really on camera very much, but
And we got the dog as well to give opinions.
And we have Eyebrow who's going to show up soon.
Yes. And we
Also,
have
members of the Barbarian Horde.
we have Dan here, who wasn't part of the first part, so this will be great to get his views on the Sword and the Sorcerer.
once so for his absence last time by being in the dungeon for a little bit.
Yeah. So we could actually start with Dan, because he wasn't at the first part, to just ask, what did you think of the movie?
It was a little silly.
Well, I mean, it's a B movie, Sword and Sorcery. It's,
Yeah.
I mean, you're gonna be hit with that a bit.
I remember you mentioned that, like, when we were watching it, you liked the similarities it had with Hour of the Dragon. No, in the first part. Like,
Yes.
yeah, you were the one who noted that more than I did. And
Like, I like the entire idea of the ancient wizard, right? That's always a trope I really like. We see it in the Mummy. We see it in here. We see it with Conan.
yeah, what did you think of the
Right.
sarcophagus of the screaming skulls, like the homunculus envy thing?
Creepy.
Oh, yeah, that was awesome.
As it should be.
Yeah. All right, I'll just move, I think, a little like this so that I'm not completely off camera.
Right. Yeah, we were talking about how it has actually quite a lot of similarities to the Hour of the Dragon, at least the beginning part.
Yeah.
There were some other similarities also. We'll talk about them later, but so far, I think we all agree that the beginning part, at least, is some of the best parts in the
yeah.
movie.
Definitely.
At least for me, at the beginning and the end. I mean,
Move closer to the side.
The middle part kind of like dips a little bit, but not by
yeah. That's what I mean. Like, I think we all agree that the middle part kind of dips in the movie, and but the beginning was well done. I mean, I thought it was really well done. The setup, coming out from the mist, going to resurrect the ancient sorcerer, demon, whatever he is, and then then the reveal of Talon, where he from going from boyhood to basically manhood and being revealed. So I think that whole sequence is
he didn't even need an 80s
relevant.
montage or anything.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I think we needed one.
A Rocky montage.
Yes, Drago. That was the best montage ever.
Yeah, I was definitely thinking that they definitely were. Well, it has some similarities with. Also later on, there's the crucifixion of Talon as well. That is also in the Conan movie. I guess that's. I mean, like I said,
Yeah,
there.
that was from Which Shall Be Born.
Yeah, Which Shall Be Born. That's why I think there's. Yeah, I don't know if it's true, but there's the confusion. There's the rumor that the script of Conan the Barbarian was circulating a bit in Hollywood. So that some say that these guys would have read the script and therefore seen the crucifixion part and other parts that could be construed as a bit similar. And that, but then we can take all this, like you said, A Witch Shall Be Born. We can take all this from the Howard, like The Hour of the Dragon, A Witch Shall Be Born.
Those were written back in the 1930s, so.
Yeah, exactly. So like it's kind of hard to say, but scripts do circulate in Hollywood. So I mean, they could have read that, I guess.
Not to mention, Conan isn't technically the first guy to get crucified.
No.
In popular, literature, shall we say? There was at least there was this one guy, but
Oh yes,
quite as ass in certain reason.
Well, he's most notable for having been living with his mother and her thinking he was basically God on Earth.
Yeah,
he's my favorite guy. But let's where were we? We were on the. Let's see. Oh no, I got.
Well, I was going to say though, that when it
close
comes to the possibility of this script circulating and whatnot, maybe I prefer to take the attitude innocent until proven guilty. So maybe A Witch Shall Be Born and Hour of the Dragon, they simply took ideas from those. Like I said, I prefer to look at it from a at least when it comes to writers and some directors, when it comes to the creative process, if it's that quickly after the Conan the Barbarian movie, I prefer to look at it innocent until proven guilty. But so that once we do have the evidence that they did plagiarize a little, then we could judge. But until then, I'd rather just say, well, they obviously drew similar inspiration, and we shall not judge until there's either confirmation or denial of fact.
Yeah.
Like we have no way of confirming one way or another, so.
Yeah. But it is interesting that there's similarities and like it has happened a lot before, but those may be more deliberate. Like what was there was the magic movies with the Prestige by Christopher Nolan, and at the same time there was the Illusionist at the same time. Then there was two Hercules movies. There was the Hercules movie with Wayne Johnson. Then there was the Hercules movie by Rennie Harlin at the exact same time. Same time. So I mean, like, there's they go kind of like in twos a lot of times, but I don't think it was the case here. It was more the inspiration of
Howard.
Howard and Excalibur, because that's what Albert Pyun said. You don't like Excalibur? How come?
Well, it's just,
oh boy.
When we watched it, it seemed like every actor was either whispering or shrieking, and we couldn't see most of the stuff because it was blurred out in darkness. And it zipped by so fast, we were just left with whiplash.
And it's like, what's going on?
Yeah,
it's like, then we had to turn it all the way up, and then we hear them shout, and then we had to turn it all the way down.
Yeah,
and doing that over and over again,
it grated on our nerves.
It's not good movie making.
Yeah, we had that problem.
I guess that depends where you're watching. I didn't have this problem. Did you have this problem,
I've
Zero?
never had this problem.
Well,
I've never had this problem.
Where do,
we tried watching it online. We tried watching it on DVD, and we had these problems. But the other problem was how quickly it went by, and we didn't really like some of the acting. So it was not our cup of tea.
Fair enough.
That, and we also had people just beating it over our heads and going at the time like, "You have to like this. You must like this." Well, And then we had about 2 people we knew who'd rage at us and shriek and holler and
that
just
will taint your appreciation of a thing, that's for sure.
yeah.
Someone's experience with the movie might have been more positive. They might have enjoyed it, and others,
Yeah.
It didn't
might not have been good for them.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
you know what?
That's movies for you.
Yeah.
Some will like it, others won't.
Yeah.
There you
But
go.
I preferred this movie because this movie, while I was more lukewarm towards the Sword and Sorcerer, I really love the intro. I really love the first 30 minutes of the movie.
Can't argue with that.
Yeah, the first 30 minutes of this film is really good. Most Sword and Sorcery movies from the 80s are really, 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 really good. So it's only 1 or 2 that were kind of
Terrible.
Yeah. And we're also French, so we have to be contrarian.
No, no.
Mais
Exactement. Faut contredire tout le monde. En particulier les Anglais, les Américains.
et les Danois.
Et les Danois, ouais.
Bien sûr.
Ça va sans dire.
Bloody Danish.
Right. Yep. So we were left off here at the 30-minute mark.
Everybody else because they're named after a dessert.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
We
we
should
were
have-
left off the
Something else.
So yeah, we were left off at the 30-minute mark. This is where
Talon's just
Talon,
rescued, huh?
yeah, Talon has rescued the princess. Was it Alana? I think her name was, right? From the would-be assault, and they, I guess they agree with the. Well, I mean, she needs the someone to save her brother who's captured. So
Yeah.
they strike a bargain, a deal.
Well, they're getting to that part at the very least. Right now, she's just in the I'm very glad to be alive right now.
Captured by Cromwell himself.
We have to get the word out. No attack tomorrow.
Yeah, so they've been planning the attack on Cromwell, aided by Count Machiavelli. It's like
It's not actually his name, but we keep calling him that because, well, that's what.
I mean, his name is
Machiavelli,
Machiavelli. But it's
Yeah.
basically
I
that's
just
what it
think
is.
of the drink my chili. Like he's just constantly shouting, "Bring me my chili." That's just what I think of when I hear the name.
Bring me my jelly.
So,
Yeah,
The
it's
thought
not
of,
War Chancellor.
the thought of those easy microwave meal Michelena was what came to mind.
For you, okay.
Yeah, I don't know. It was just it was so close to Machiavelli, so I was like, just call him Machiavelli because he's very Machiavellian in this. Yeah, go ahead, Joe.
Yeah.
What was you gonna say?
One thing I like here is that we're actually seeing the rebellion moving, organizing, and whatnot. And while I do like the original era of Star Wars, this was a complaint I had with the movies to an extent. Now, the novels of the movies had some scenes like this, but they were not put into episode 5 and 6 to an extent. They only kind of lightly touched upon it.
Mhm.
But cinematically, we'd have to wait till the Kyle Katarn games to see the rebellion kind of how they operated. But here we're seeing how the rebellion operates. I always like it when filmmakers add details like this because I want to see how it works. I want to see the rebellion doing stuff and communicating with each other. Because if not, I don't know what's going on with them.
Yeah, you
Like,
don't
I-
just the lady to tell you many Gungan spies died for this information. No, we want to see the Gungan spies die.
Oh yeah, the
Right.
Bothan spies.
Bothan. Yeah.
Both
Now
those
people
fights.
would really like to see the Gungans die, but that's a whole other movie.
Yeah, I actually like the Gungans, so I'm weird.
They're not as bad as what people make them out to be.
Yeah, I like them because they're warriors. Both ends, I'm like, kill them all.
Yeah, you're contrarian once again in the Phantom Menace thing. A lot of people hate
Yeah.
that movie.
I love that
Good.
movie.
Oh, I adore it.
Yeah, I remember watching it with my dad. It was the first Star Wars movie I saw with my dad. So
The Gungans annoy me.
It's
So
certainly no longer the most insulting Star Wars movie.
no. That's
Yeah.
true. I like it. I actually really like it. But the Gungans, I'm glad they're gone from the.
okay, I want to see a full movie of Gungans.
No thanks.
Eh,
But yeah,
each-
yeah.
Well, we can show how the Empire napalmed their entire planet. How's that?
Oh yeah, that sounds good.
I'd rather see Chandrila get napalm bombed.
Yeah. But anyway, we get the scene of they strike the bargain. There's the funny quip of one night. That's hardly enough to go basically on a suicide mission. And then even the tavern guy says, "Oh, well, you don't have to fulfill that thing because he's gonna die." That's like good confidence. Like, doesn't that mean like her brother's gonna die as well?
Well, I think it's mostly because he got sent off to rescue the rest of their men too, who were about to be executed, and
Right.
and also because he doesn't give the best impression to her. He's like, "Oh, but my sword is so I
Oh
handsome."
yeah.
The guy is
Yeah.
not taking this completely seriously. Is your sword
Yeah.
for hire?
For hire.
It depends.
I would pay anything for it.
Sure.
Not so fast.
Oh, but my sword is poised.
Yeah, that's what you meant.
Well, that's
Yeah.
a very different definition of sword for this kind of circumstance.
Yeah, funny
Yeah.
gag.
Has to unsheath his sword, indeed.
Yeah. Well, he
Yeah.
wants to sheath his sword, just differently. But it does go to show that his kind of roguishness is like,
Yeah.
this guy's a hardened warrior, but he's also a bit of a jackass when he wants to be.
Mm-hmm.
Lord of Lek says, by the way, hails to Lord of Lek. He says, this convo was actually very Conan-esque. Conan will steal a jewel for a wench when the jewel could buy 1,000 wenches. But that's what I also like about Conan, because he's about the adventure. He's not about the riches, because he can get riches. It's like, that's not the problem. Like he quite enjoys the adventure, I think, and the like a lot, like when he goes and joins wars and stuff, and he's having a lot of fun just being in the taverns and like waiting for the wars and then fighting, and then like he doesn't really when are we gonna get a lot of money or something like that. He's not really that.
Yeah.
It's pretty easy. Most sword and sorcery protagonists go through that, ebb and flow of their wealth, where they just gather a whole bunch of cash and then just let it slip through their fingers because they got other things to do.
Yeah, Conan eventually learns fiscal responsibility and financial literacy, but it takes him a while.
Yeah, it takes him a while, and by then he becomes a bit, he gets a good taxation policy, to be honest.
Yeah. The other thing with Conan is oftentimes the ladies he encounters, not all, but some, are worth more than that jewel in some ways.
Yeah, like in the Teeth of Gwalur as an example.
Yeah. And there's also Valyria, Baelit, and Zenobia, who are all worth far more.
Which one did you say, Zero? I kind of caught
The
out
Teeth
there.
of Gwalur. It's one of those.
Oh yeah.
He has the opportunity to grab a chest of legendary jewels, but just lets it fall to the wayside to save the girl. So
Yeah. I remember. Yeah.
and she's even one of the more badass of the ladies in Howard's Conan Tales. She's just some chick who actually was working to try and trick him and trick other people. Is like, okay, no, I'm gonna save you. Also, we're gonna be redoing this trick of yours to somebody else. This is gonna be fun.
Yeah. Well, I think that's just like the classic Conan. It shows riches he can get, and he's still the barbarian thing. I think that's where Howard comes through the barbarian thing. He values life. It's not about the greed, because I think he was really disappointed with the greed around him. So the greed of corporations and the trample of the common man or the worker. So that's why he loved the barbarians, because that's like, you're upfront, you're honest. If you're not upfront, like there's going to be consequences. Everything's like
Howard lived for an oil business, so
yeah, there was like he longed for that honor of the tribes, I guess, and I think that's where this comes through in that story, in the Teeth of
Well, never
Gwalor.
forgetting the savage aspect of that lifestyle as well. How it's honorable, but it's honorable because everybody's poised and ready to kill each other at a moment's notice.
Yeah.
I wonder if, to an extent, you have the American phrase "truth, justice, and the American way."
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if Howard kind of defined the idea of the Texan way in a way because with Conan, it seems to be almost truth, honor in the Texan way, and freedom in the Texan way. So truth, honor, and freedom in the Texan way. If maybe these values, which whenever you hear about Texas, you often hear about how the men and a lot of the women, actually, the men and women there often value truth, honor, freedom as the three primary things, and this is the Texan way of life. So I wonder if Howard, it was already kind of there, but I wonder if Howard is in some ways a bit of a cultural forefather to a lot of the cultural values that came later for Texas. Or if
it's possible they reflected them quite a bit. I mean, to this day,
he epitomized them in Conan and his tales, which serves essentially as a Texan mythology.
It's not the state of Texas; it's the Republic of Texas. Let's not forget that they still refer to themselves that way.
Yeah,
that's true.
Thank you for that correction. Sorry about that.
And a lot of these regions, such as U.S. states, a lot of them have their own personality, so to speak, metaphysically.
Well, it's supposed to be a union of 50 countries or something.
Yeah, it's basically it's the United States of America. It's basically like what the EU is. It's a bunch of different regions, all governed by by an overlying federal government.
Yeah.
The EU sucks.
Spoken like European.
Yeah, I mean, the United States got a better deal of that, I guess.
Yeah, but with Texas, I think that it's just that I tend to look at Howard in some ways as, like, when it comes to Conan and the Hyborian Age, it seems to me like he was kind of creating a Texan mythology, like what Tolkien did for England.
It's arguable, yeah. Certainly was inspired quite a bit by his native Texas, especially from a lot of his later stories. Beyond the Black River, Red Nails was inspired by some of the feuds that happened in neighboring regions. So there was a lot of Texas in the Hyborian Age.
Then there's also the hills, plains that served as inspiration, I think, for some of the hill country of Samaria.
Yeah, the poem Samaria. Yeah, definitely. He writes about that. Beyond the Black River was about like the border wars or with the Indians, I think. I think that had an inspiration in that, if I remember. But I think Howard might have been romanticizing a bit, like the barbarian. Like obviously, it's not just honor. That can be an aspect, but mostly it can be a really savage. And it's just about survival. So there's no honor. So
what I meant was
there can be like different sides. Depends, I guess.
Well, I think that he also established that with the Picts and stuff like that, and other various peoples, but also like Conan is a bit of an outlier even among Sumerians. So
yeah.
Oh no, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go.
No, go ahead.
Well, if you look at Conan, Kull, and Brol, and a lot of Conan's friends and allies, they seem to have a lot of honor about them, whereas the Picts represent the shadow barbarians in a way. I mean, like from the Hyborian Age period, so that Conan is meant to be kind of juxtaposed against them. He has honor. He's a good kind of barbarian. They are a bad kind. Sort of. That's an oversimplification, but that seems to be kind of what he's doing. So And when you read the stories, you do see, I'm just saying that there is some degree of honor in that Conan will not slay a woman, he'll not violate a woman, he'll behave himself. So that's where I went. There's a certain honor there. So you have truth, honor, and freedom as the three main virtues of the Hyborian Age. And you also have Immanuel Kant's world of ends where I think I made a video on it, and it's where Conan treats people as the ends, not the means. Basically, he treats everyone as though they are the most important thing in the world, rather than just a tool for him to get what he wants. And this is why,
which is basically what sorcerers essentially do traditionally in sword and sorcery. They treat others as the means to the ends, whatever those ends may be. It's a bit like you say like the Picts are the evil version of the savage archetype that where Conan is the good, well, not necessarily good, but better version. The same can be said for Stygia being that for the civilized nation of Aquilonia, for instance.
Exactly
the same kind. The corrupting influence not only of human decadence, but also the influence of outer realms of Lovecraftian horror, of which the Picts are through their worship of the Jebel Shag and other ancient eldritch deities is very much an example of.
And Acheron being the absolute worst of even worse than Stygia.
Oh god, Stygia wishes it was as evil as Acheron.
Yeah. But anyway, now we're getting on a tangent about Conan.
This is the reason why we only managed to get in 2.5 hours. Only managed to get 30 minutes into the movie.
well, it's fun to discuss all the tangents. So I guess we kind of. But anyway, he goes through the bargain or plan, whatever. He kind of agrees with it quickly. Once again, that's a very Conan-esque thing. Once again. Conan agrees to do things quite quickly, without thinking. Once again, with the adventure spirit.
And he gets a similar reward. One of the stories, the Veil of Lost Women. Although even there, in that case, he kind of at the end goes, no, I'm not going to be that much of a dick to you.
Oh, yeah. So...
Can you help us?
No.
What do you take me for? To suicide.
Quiet, Crackers.
That's
that's a very honest tavern keeper right there.
Yeah, that's like, oh no, quiet. It's like he's gonna kill himself. I guess she didn't really care.
I mean, it's all she's got. Let's face it. Her entire rebellion's been ransacked by the authorities. So
that I really like the triple, how do you say, triple bluff? No, triple backstab, I guess, by Machiavelli, Count Machiavelli. He's playing all sides basically, and but ultimately himself, his own side he keeps. So that's very cool.
Not throw away.
What's the matter? Is your sword too small?
Gotta give her credit. She knows how to give a good one-liner.
Yeah, she's I think she did her role pretty well in this movie. Acted quite well. She's definitely different kind of character than, let's say, Valeria from Conan the Barbarian movie. I mean,
or Conan Valeria from the story Red Nails, of course.
Yeah, she's more of a classic princess.
Valeria from Red Nails would have already charged the front gate and slaughtered 6 men to 24 men.
Yeah.
Whereas in the movie, she'd have said, "We ought to do this smartly," then charged in and gotten an arrow to the gut. I'm joking.
And then fed her irritating line.
Well, it's not as irritating.
Whereas she's more a planner and a strategist in terms of her combat capability.
Yeah. Whereas Valeria in Red Nails is just a beast.
Fucking buzzsaw.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, he gets a down payment.
Down payment.
I mean, that's literally how he describes it.
Yeah, that is literally how he describes it. It's kind of funny how right after this, the Cromwell guys charge in. It's like, didn't they basically? It feels like Talon just bumped into the Cromwell guys. Oh, like, hey, where you going? Like, I just mean that he didn't notice that.
Brash Hulk.
That's a hilarious throw.
He's got those claws on and just like, what?
Yeah. Well, that's a fantastic throw.
The Wilhelm shout.
Yeah.
Or something else.
Kill the tavern keeper, and then it's just got the girl and
Killed the only truly sensible person in the entire movie.
Yeah, but I thought it was kind of funny how quickly he got to the tavern. Immediately, Cromwell's guy just came out and took.
The renegade bard says Belit would have sailed up, pointed at what she wanted Conan to destroy, then screwed like wild bunnies afterward. That is accurate.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Belit was quite chaotic.
Yeah, she could be.
I don't think she would have played it smart in a lot of this.
No, she would have, but she'd be blinded by greed very easily.
I'm actually going to say I think she would have played it smart.
Maybe.
Valyria, if Conan's not around, is just going to charge in. But if Conan is around, he's going to be able to restrain her and go, "Whoa, hold on there, sister. Let's actually plan this." And then she's going to lead the charge after he's planned it. So, yeah,
especially when he runs into her, he's had some military experience. He's had quite a bit of military experience by the time he meets Valeria. By the time he meets Belit, he's done he's fairly early in his life. So,
yeah, he's about 19 when he meets her, 18 or 19, and he's about 22 when she dies, I think, according to one timeline. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Hadn't he been in Tehran before?
Oh. Yeah,
it depends on what chronology you're going with.
Right. Yeah.
Lord of response to the Renegade Bard is brilliant. Fair description. Yeah. Belit would have charged in.
Lord of Lex says Belit was the epitome of an irrational, chaotic woman. It's what got her killed. Yeah, I mean...
Well, that and a whole horde's worth of,
that's a fair point.
possibly cursed treasure, so...
Yeah.
That probably didn't help either.
Then we get the next scene, which is I think they were called the Red Dragon Guard.
Yeah, something like that.
Archers, basically. I think they're in pretty cool garb. They have a cool look to them. So they're basically standing in a line, ready to shoot the rebellion, or some of the. I don't know if it's all of the rebellion or if it's some of the rebellion.
It's as many as they've got captured, I guess.
Yeah, and they're in a cave. I don't know why they ran into the cave. I guess that's the closest thing that they wanted to get cover or something. Yeah. And they're gonna throw oil into the cave and basically burn them alive, I guess, and then shoot them stragglers. I think this guy had like incredibly menacing, or he played it really a bit schlocky, like a very, very menacingly saying, "Come out and die." That
was good.
Yeah, I mean, I have growled in my band, so I know a bit.
5 minutes to decide.
It's like he's really decide. It's like he's really selling the how do you say, like, the panache of it, like
he's like, I am serious military man, and I'm gonna play this serious military man.
Yeah, exactly. It's like
I get killed by the happy-go-lucky swashbuckling guy. Yeah.
So anyway, they get the the oil. They killed one of the oil guys. Talon is just looking on, basically. What's going on?
Yeah, he's like, okay, well, how am I going to deal with this crap?
Yeah. I thought there was a cool effect is when they light all the fires. I don't know.
Let's
Have
see it.
seen that is something else before? I'm not sure. I've seen
All right,
lot
let's
of
see
that.
this effect.
All eyes on the cave! Not a single rebel is to escape!
So I think that's quite cool how they did that, the effect and all that
It's
stuff.
completely pointless in many ways because they could just have
Yeah.
easily had some kid with a torch just walk by and light the torches as they go. But it's like,
Yeah.
no, we're the elite. We get the special, like,
Yeah.
dragon.
Yeah, exactly. I'm reminded of a Gladiator movie. They're the Roman army. I guess they put in front of them. They put like a small fire run basically in front of them, and then they dip in the fire when they shoot the arrows.
Mhm.
That's the closest thing I could think of.
Yeah. Or in Army of Darkness when they have the arrows with the gunpowder that Ash has added to them, and they have the torchlight just lights all the the fuses, like steady, and it's like everybody's looking worried. Fire! When those skeletons explode. Oh, fun.
Yeah. So that's a cool scene, I think, in the movie. Then I guess Talon basically. It's kind of funny how he throws some of the oil at the feet. I would think someone would notice when it.
Well, he did say all eyes on the cave. Do not let one rebel escape. So it's like everybody's like laser focused on that. They're not looking at their feet.
Yeah, that's true. So basically, the army got
roasted,
burned. Yeah, roasted, burned alive.
More importantly, one of the guys screamed like a little girl. Marshmallows. Oh, they do. They do. They got marshmallows.
Talon just looks on. The rebellion really looks quite underdeveloped. Where's the weapons and stuff? It's just looks like farmers or something.
I mean, never underestimate the power.
Probably because they are farmers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
But
So
thankfully,
then
they're up against one of the stupidest generals around who forgot, oh, right, I'm supposed to post patrols and scouts all around me at all times. Whoops. Forget this common medieval military practice.
Yeah.
So
then I guess
they're well matched. He's dumb. They're underdeveloped.
Then they join up with Talon.
Yeah, just giving some backstory to Talon, and who's the rightful heir and such and such.
Lord Michael, warrior.
Yeah, basically filling in on the rebellion stuff as well.
Just get me into the castle and I'll think of something.
So they show him a secret way in passage to the castle. And basically,
we sneak through the sewers.
Yeah, when in doubt.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
so then we cut to the after the sewers. Basically, cut to the Cromwell with. Yeah, Cromwell comes to see Princess Alana about the wedding.
Mm-hmm.
Get a nice scene, I think. Like I think we agreed on the first part. We said Richard Lynch really did a good job on acting in this movie as Cromwell. Yeah. One of the highlights, I think.
Oh yeah.
At least Zero and I thought.
Cromwell and McKelly and Talon are the highlights, really, and Zusha.
Yeah, I think they all did. I think they all did very well. Yeah, like obviously not, I don't know, the greatest ever in acting, but well enough and good. So, like you could think like there's a lot of bad movies out there. If you put like really bad actors in these four crucial parts, the movie would have completely like
Oh yeah.
yeah, it would have completely flopped, like failed. I mean, there is a reason. I think it was a successful movie. It did make almost 40 million with a 4 million budget. So, I mean, they got something right at least.
Again, the most successful independent movie of its year, all categories together. That was damned impressive right there.
The Renegade Bard says, "Good thing they did say to themselves, self, I should take off my cloak." I guess he means when they were burning alive. Lord of Lex says the costuming is actually pretty good. The weapons, not so much. Yeah, that is. Yeah. I mean, it is a B movie. I mean, come on.
Don't mind me. Maximum effort. Have to apply barbarian might. There we go.
Thank you.
Husbandly duties. So yeah, he's going to see Alana.
Yeah. No, I was just gonna say, like the B movies, like looking at a sword and sorcery movie, we can't really, critique it in the same way like a completely an a blockbuster movie, with a 100 million budget with the best cinematographer and like the directors and actors and stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, you compare this is done on a shoestring budget.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we're basically in the Evil Dead. Well, I guess maybe a bit up from that, but still in the Evil Dead department of budgets, basically. The first one, yeah, that did definitely have a lower budget than this one, but still, so you can be overly, I guess, critical of the different stuff. I mean, I guess you can. So we get the scene with Cromwell and Alana. She did first. She's not really taken by him, and then she does her classic, oh yes, I'm definitely into you. I'm gonna, and then she's gonna knee him in the groin. I think she does like this. Doesn't she do like this 3 times in the movie?
She does it to the guy who's the guards who are attacking her. She does it to Cromwell, and then she tries to do it to Zusha.
Zusha, yeah.
And it's very much that rule of threes where you really to bring in the emphasis, and then the last one is a subversion. It's like you do the first one to show. The second one is to really reinforce that concept, and the third one just completely either is the payoff. In this case, that doesn't work on the guy because he's like beyond the needs of the balls.
I think there was a nice like these kind of small things that they didn't just drop. They like kept them in like this that she like basically knees 3 guys, and then there's the twist, and then the guy who is shows Talon the sewer, who first like wants to join, then joins, but then he's a coward, then he like slips away, but then at the end of the movie he joins Talon, like
he's in his war band.
Yeah, he joins the war band. That plot point could easily have been dropped by another B movie, but I thought it was quite nice that they actually, because I was like, wait, who's this guy? Oh, that's the that's the sewer guy. I was like, I completely forgot about him. So, but that was a nice like tie-in, as like that they kept that small details.
I think the small details are very much the sign that regardless of the budget, this was done by people with talent. Albert Pyun, he may have been a B movie director or a Z movie director if you really want to go to the level budget, but he had talent and he had the passion to make it work.
Yeah, I mean, if Toshiro Mifune like picks you out and decides that you come and help him with a TV show and you learn from Mifune that is considered one of the greatest Japanese actors, I mean, he must have seen something in Albert Pyun and I think he did. I mean, this movie proves, like, at least to me, I mean,
the groin kick though was apparently one of the things that Roger Ebert also liked about this movie. He liked it, just that feature of this heroine, claiming she does more than just pant and heave like most other sword and sorcerer heroines. She actually has a secret weapon. It's called a knee to the groin, which
I mean,
pretty funny in his review. But he gave the movie half a star because he didn't really find it very memorable.
I don't really care about Ebert's opinions anyway, but
I mean, you must not have watched that many sword and sorcery movies because a lot of them have some heroines who can kick some ass.
True.
I remember he'd really disliked like some really, really great movies. I don't.
Well, where I disagree with Ebert is that typically, like, he overrated gangster movies, which I thought that once you see one of them, you've seen them all.
And that depends. Yeah.
Well, I'm not big on gangster movies, so I don't always agree with Ebert's Sword and Sorcerer film reviews. I will agree with you. His Conan the Barbarian one, he was too harsh. And I think Dragon Slayer, he was too harsh with it. And Dragonheart, I think he trashed the movie. But all these movies were really, really great. Whereas, like, the gangster or crime movie of the week by Scorsese, you would have just always give 4 or 3 stars. And I just found out.
I don't know. For me, all the critics, I always disliked the critics, every critic, because the professional critics that were in the newspapers. I remember every movie they critiqued that were actually good, and every movie that they liked, it was some kind of art house movie that was so boring, had no meaning. So that's why
I'm actually going to agree with you to an extent, but it's just Ebert was the only one I usually agreed with.
Yeah,
and usually, not always, but like. There were movies that he liked that I didn't, but there were also times when I'd read his review and I'd see, okay, then I'd check out the movie and find it was pretty good. Ebert usually liked movies that other critics hated. So that's one reason why I appreciate him.
Must have had some French in him.
No.
Contrarian.
Roger Ebert. I think the sign of a good reviewer is when they can actually explain why they liked a thing. Like, I didn't like this, and here are the reasons for that, as opposed to just I didn't like the thing, or just dismiss something outright. If you can actually go in and explain, okay,
I hated
it. Did not appeal to me. Then you really know that someone who's actually thought about it, as opposed to just a jerk reaction.
I hated that, like, dismisses outright. Like, I think a lot of Ebert had quite a few, like, he just dismissed them outright.
Well, he also explained his tastes a lot at times. There were times when he was not foolish, but like he wouldn't explain it as well as he could. Other times when he would overthink things and not enjoy the movie for what it is. But there were also times when he did end up exploring why he liked the movie in full detail and whatnot. So yeah, I'm fond of Ebert, but I also occasionally watched his reviews as a kid, so I'm very fond of Ebert, though I don't agree with him on a lot of crime and gangster movies. But I disagree with him on the sword and sorcery and fantasy movies because he didn't see the point of them. Whereas
I'm pretty sure he disliked every movie I like. He probably dislikes RoboCop, Aliens, Blade Runner, Terminator. He probably dislikes it. The second one, the first one.
Yeah, I think he liked it.
RoboCop gave 3 stars.
3 stars. Okay, so he loved it.
Out of what? 4?
Yeah.
Oh, right. Interesting. Anyway, we got a comment here about from Renegade Bard. How do you guys feel about the new Conan books and short fiction coming out? I mean, it's good that new stuff is coming out. Definitely, it keeps the interest alive in that way as well.
Wow. Sorry, real quick. Ebert apparently really loved Terminator 2. It's one of his most highest rated films.
Wow. Well, yeah, it's a universally loved movie, so that's good that he did like.
Dude loved his Schwarzenegger flicks.
Yeah, who doesn't? Yeah,
they're still running that site.
But yeah, the new Conan books coming out. Yeah, there's one about the Sterling,
Blood of the Serpent.
Blood of the Serpent, and then there's the Chuck Dixon one that I ordered. I think you read it already, Zero, right?
Yeah, I ordered it directly from the Archhaven, and that got me the
Yeah.
ebook. So I've been looking through that.
Nice.
Basically, for those who don't understand how any of this works, there is the company that holds the rights to Conan the Barbarian. That's mostly North American IP law and stuff like that. In Europe, Conan is a public domain character. However, they can't just call it Conan the Barbarian because that would fall under the previous IP holder. So it's more like, as it was the case with the Glenelg comic books, it's Conan the Sumerian, Conan the Sumerian. And so they avoid the particular iconography and such.
Yeah, it's only the Sumerian. It's not even Conan. It's just the Sumerian.
Yeah, that's the English translations from the English comics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I think Castelia House is a publisher that's in Sweden. Chuck Dixon's book is published through them, so that gets around any kind of thing. I also think it's referred to as Chuck Dixon's Conan.
Yeah.
Look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
So
Chuck Dixon.
So that's how they get around that particular issue. So long as they don't use particular like fonts, particular images, and particular descriptions as used under the North American rights holders, then there shouldn't be any kind of problems. Fingers crossed.
Yeah. In Canada, we follow pretty much American copyright. So as we're basically just an extension of the US at this point. So I wish it was in the public domain in Canada, but no.
I'm really looking forward to reading the Chuck Dixon Conan. So that I would recommend that one over the Sterling one. If you're looking for new Conan, like
I started
really
reading the Blood of the Serpent, but I found I just couldn't keep up, unfortunately.
Yeah, I have been trying, but
I read all the way through it. So
okay, if you guys hate it, Dan and I are not going to read it because last time you said a book, both of you I think said a Conan book was mediocre. We found it just revolting. So Conan the Liberator.
We shall never talk about that ever again.
So yeah.
We're glad our opinions are worth something.
Yeah, I'm just saying because
I mean, you guys are Corinne, you guys are more critical of all that stuff. So yeah, kind of figures you would really hate it.
But on the other hand, I got my copy of Conan the Great since you recommended it so highly, World of Conan. So I'm going to be
you got the right,
yeah. Well, I'm going to take that and the Call the Conqueror book that I'm going to be getting later next week, I hope, on the plane. So I'm going to be reading those and taking notes of those prestige.
We had this interesting review idea, Zero, about doing Black Colossus review. Then there's the sequel to Black Colossus in comic book form only, called At the Mountain of the Moon God. That's the direct sequel to Black Colossus.
That was in the Savage Sword of Conan, right?
Yeah, it's a direct sequel to Black Colossus. And then there's Conan the Great, which Joe just held up. That has a kind of sequel to Black Colossus, only like many, many years later in a side story in that book, but it plays into the whole plot. So kind of like we could like review a trilogy of all these, like starting from first. Yeah.
Black Lotus is one of my favorites. So
Black Colossus.
After we finish Dragon Hour.
Yeah, Hour of
which
Dragon.
has been a very long hour.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to the movie
Back to the
before we derail too much once again. So we get this basically.
What?
Bog.
Oh, it's not very nice.
Basically,
Oh, that's a bad wicked.
yeah.
That was basically marry me or your brother's dead.
Oh yeah, this was one of the interesting. Like he has a harem, he has a lot of women, so it's like, why bother? It's like, I don't know, like, what's the purpose of wanting someone who hates you? Like, I wouldn't. That's like who would want to wake up to that, to the hatred?
Well, it's like what those rebellion guys were saying to Talon on the beach. Micah's considered the heir to the throne. If he's gone, she is next in line. If he marries her,
All right, yeah.
he legitimizes himself completely, and there's no longer a fulcrum from which rebellion can act upon.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, that was. Yeah, I thought he was just like, no, I just want you, like, only that he's basically infatuated with her or
Now
something.
we
like
later see that he has somebody who he does like quite a bit, and it's kind of
Yeah.
creepy in its own way because, well, who she is actually.
Oh, you mean the
Yeah,
her
this
her
lady
basically?
right here.
Yeah.
That's Talon's sister.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I know. I had to
Wait,
look
what?
things up. Yeah, I had to
No
look things
way.
up. Yeah.
No
Yeah,
way.
The actor here is, let me see here. It's this is Anna Bjorn as Elizabeth, Cromwell's whore, and the young one is played by Christina Nigra as young Elizabeth. And yeah, she's the little girl that's taken away from Talon's mom when she's killed on the beach during that initial intro.
No way. I didn't
And
catch that at all.
I'm not even sure Cromwell knows this.
What?
Yeah, I mean, it's like this whole family dynamic is weird because I'm pretty sure Talon doesn't even recognize her, and she doesn't recognize Talon, so she has no idea her brother's there. It's like, wow, there's some weird family dynamics going on in this movie.
That's super strange. Like, where was she raised then? How didn't he seek out the sister? I thought the sister just died. Like, I was like thinking that she just died.
Well, according to the
I basically
credits,
forgot about her.
That's who this is.
Interesting. Okay. But wait. Then it gets really weird. Why is she willingly giving herself to the evil guy who killed her parents?
Yeah,
To
but she
quote
also
myself the other day, last time, maybe she's just dumb.
Yeah.
No,
No, I don't think that's it. I think she's
Oh, she is
trying
blonde. We can't just go dismissing the possibility. She is blonde here. So
I think I think she's helping with the rebellion in her own way. Obviously, but
yeah.
but still, I don't know. That's kind of a tall ask, that guy who killed your parents right in front of you. You might wanna get close.
I mean, what's the best place to hide? In plain sight.
Yeah, I don't know. But she also would be a legitimate, to the throne. Basically, she would be the. Yeah. Anyway, we get a interesting scene here at the torture chamber of Cromwell, torturing Micah, the prince or the leader of the rebellion. I guess he's technically not a prince, actually. I mean, wasn't he basically? His father was one of the advisors to the king.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't that what they said in the beginning?
Yeah,
I think yeah. So it's interesting that they call him Your Majesty and stuff like that because he wasn't, or Your Grace or stuff like that, because he's not actually royal blood. But
perhaps
tomato.
Full blood for sure. And since he is technically the next in line to the throne, if everybody thinks that Richard's family's dead, well,
yeah. So we get oh yeah. This is the where Cromwell. Yeah, I really liked. I think that was a good point in the movie. The paranoia of Cromwell. I thought that was like they could have just thrown the paranoia away. That it wasn't a plot point at all. But I think I love it, and I think it works really well. It's one of the central points of the movie. The paranoia of Cromwell, because
Here's the thing, star from our channel. Or dog.
because it bites him basically.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, he gets undone by his own paranoia basically, or
It
at
adds
least it's
depth to the character because
Yeah.
he's not just, aha, mustache twirling villain. I shall defeat the rebellion and rule the kingdom. Ha ha ha. No, it's like, I gotta defeat the rebellion because I know that Zusha's behind this. I know
Yeah.
that he's coming to get me. So, it gives him
Maybe-
that extra.
Maybe
Yeah.
Cromwell would have been more victorious and in a better frame of mind if he did have a mustache to twirl.
Yeah, that could be.
Well, that's what happens when you give your villains depth. They get, sunk.
No, I just think it was a good idea to play up on the paranoia thing because it feels like he's like missing the point of the real threat right in front of him. He's always searching outwards.
Yeah.
There's somewhere Susha somewhere like his mind is basically going a bit
Why?
yeah, why he's afraid basically.
Meanwhile, he puts all his remaining trust into exactly the wrong person.
Oh yeah, exactly. Who's in control of the armies, the bodyguards?
Yeah, Machiavelli.
Yeah, Machiavelli. So basically, an interrogation of Micah to learn about Susha, or say, "Hey, where's Susha? I know Susha's behind this."
No idea.
Yeah, he's like, "What? What are you talking about?" There's
Micah does his best to give his best. Bitch, are you for real kind of thing, but unfortunately, he's a little bit too hurt for that.
yeah.
It's for you.
Thought you'd be hungry. It's meant to be yours, my king.
Yeah, that has a kind of different ring now. Now that I know that she's Talon's sister. Oh my days. That's just weird.
Okay. Here's the thing. At least it's not like Star Wars where Leia and Luke make out for a bit.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
You're being challenged.
Yeah, you've been challenged by a myth. So he's basically just going down the rabbit hole of Susha, which is funny though because he is paranoid. At one hand, it's not good for him. He's doing the wrong things, but then again, his paranoia is actually correct. Susha is all around him. And he is.
So it's really paranoia when Zusha is out to get him.
Yeah, and he is close. He is around him.
That's happened in real life too. I mean, there was this one guy who worked for the CIA who ended up killing himself because he was completely paranoid that the Mossad was spying on him. They were, but he was also a complete nut job. So,
yeah, it's like when your paranoia is real. Oh no.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it doesn't help.
Yeah. Lord of Lex says, I think there was probably a lot of context in this movie that got edited out. I mean, yeah, it does feel like it's very
pared
like
down.
And it's really fast paced, but I do like the fast pace though.
Mm-hmm.
I think it might have if it had been longer, I think it might have bogged down quite heavily. I don't think it could have carried that a lot more.
I think that's the same can be said for a lot of Sword and Sorcerer. If you want to keep at the right action pace, you can't have things be too long.
Yeah.
Or at least if you can, but it's a lot harder.
The only thing I think is Conan the Barbarian movie that because it has so many different themes and variations going on. They had like the philosophy angle going on, so you can really like how you like really think on it, meditate basically on the ideas. So it didn't really feel like you could get bogged down. I don't know. Maybe. I guess. Anyway, we'll move on from.
Well, why? It's no tell. I've stalked Sushi for 10 years. Watching for signs of his devilish work.
Yeah, so basically he's just waiting for Susha to appear, or
For his precious Zusha-chan.
yeah.
Very well. I am the only leader of this rebellion.
Hey, what about your sister?
Well, I mean, she can't really hold it down. This is an interesting. I watched this again to prepare for this stream. I didn't notice that, in the next scene, when he's after this scene where he tells, I don't remember her name. What was it? Elizabeth, I think, or was that the actress? But anyway, Cromwell tells her to wait in the cell, which is, first of all, that's kind of strange. Why? Because he seemed like he liked her quite a lot. And then this I didn't notice in the next scene. It was not the next. Well, anyway, in the next scene with Cromwell, he says, "Kill everyone in the room," meaning Micah, but also her. And I was kind of like, "What? Why does he want to?"
Maybe he forgot she was there. He does seem like not exactly the most caring of her people.
Yeah,
He also
I was
seems
just kind of.
distracted.
Say again. What did you say?
He also seems pretty distracted.
Yeah,
That too.
Yeah, it was just kind of strange. The second time, I just noticed that. Oh yeah, she's in the cell as well, or in the torture chamber. So when he says to Talon, who he mistakes for a guard, just kill everyone back there. It was like, wait, he just ordered him to kill her as well. It was like, but didn't he like her quite a lot? So anyway, that was kind of threw me off a bit. Talon comes through the tunnels, then gets basically attacked by some rats. They then find an opening.
Perhaps we should wait for you here
Yeah,
to guard the escape.
I thought that was. It's like,
You do that.
you do that. It's like he didn't call him a coward to his face. It was like,
It's like he was polite about it.
yeah, it's like, you do you. Yeah, I do me. It's like, so there's a convenient door there. Once again, a convenient capture from the guards, like earlier. Cromwell's guards just happened to be right there. I mean, it does play.
This is an excuse to see Talon just beat some ass. So
Yeah, does have a funny gag to it. I thought this music here was very reminiscent of when he's being chased. Was very reminiscent of Indiana Jones music.
now that you mention it, yeah, it does feel kind of similar.
Let me find the place here. Let me see.
I like rots. Blah.
Was it a bit before that?
Breathe or die.
Let me see. I think it was maybe the next one after that.
No, I think it was
be.
what you just played there. That definitely has. I've heard that kind of similar progression.
Yeah. Well, anyway, he.
I like.
Yeah. So anyway, he gets a mask, grabs a uniform, and infiltrates the castle.
Yep. Infiltrates the torture chamber or this is the cells, I think. No, this is the cells. Yeah. Bursts through the door. Takes down 3 guys quite easily. That's kind of funny. They just fall down immediately. That's a cool shot with him coming
from Call the Conqueror.
Say again?
Well, just the visual coloring and whatnot reminds me of the Call the Conqueror torture chamber.
Right.
I wonder if they drew inspiration from this scene.
This was there was quite a lot of shot. This walking, the mist, the light, walking from shadows, and that's always a classic, cool shot. So that's quite interesting. The renegade bard says getting in was super easy, barely an inconvenience. Yeah, that's
getting out on the other hand is going to be a little bit tougher.
I think that's what's the channel pitch meeting that has that barely an inconvenience a line. He's got funny videos. Anyway. Yeah, that's. I was just reminded of something like swashbuckling movies, stuff like that. Then he's surprised that he finds the guys he left behind to guard the entrance. So then they free everyone. Then they find the architect there, and I was like, why would Cromwell keep the architect alive? I mean, I guess if he wants to remodel his castle.
Well, he's useful to have around. He's a wealth of knowledge. That's at least, why you might want to keep him alive.
Yeah. The Renegade Bard says, for a low-budget film, it has decent music, considering that they would have had to hire an orchestra. That's impressive.
Yeah, the music was by, David Whitaker.
Yeah.
Who, died in 2012. English composer, songwriter, arranger, and conductor, was most active in the 1960s and 70s.
I think
he's done a bunch of movies.
Yeah, I think it was definitely a plus point in this movie, the score. It could easily have been like it's quite a few B movies that don't really have a score. They just have maybe some songs in them, but they don't really have a score. This is definitely an effort has been put into this, I would say. Definitely.
Yeah. Wants to grovel.
What secrets?
Then I guess they.
Sire!
Oh no! They tell Cromwell, right?
Yeah.
That they have escaped.
Cromwell, shit's gone down.
Oh no!
Elizabeth.
Oh, here was the scene I was talking about.
Trust me.
Like he says, wait here. That's what I mean. That's why it was like, so wait, why? Is he suspicious of her then?
I think it's basically like, I don't want anything bad to happen to you. Stay here, you'll be safe. But then he says, forgets about her and then says, kill everybody who's in there. He's like, he doesn't even realize, oh shit, I left my favorite concubine in there. God damn it.
Yeah, but that's what I think. Maybe he suspected her then. And then, he reassured her to like stay here.
I'm going to side more. I'm going to side more of Zero on this one. He's basically getting to be a little out of his mind. So it could be that he forgot about her, and like who knows? I think he probably forgot about her.
Yeah,
and
but
later
that's immediately after. Yeah, but that's immediately after though.
I don't think he suspected her.
But I mean, it's immediately after this scene. So I mean, it must mean he suspected her.
Fair enough.
I would think. Let's see, like there he reassured her. immediately after.
Kill everyone in the chamber now.
Kill everyone in the chamber now.
Yeah, he did intend to do it.
So, I mean, I think the emphasis was put on the the girl there too.
Yeah.
So it gotta mean something. I would think.
Maybe.
I don't think he forgot this. Renegade Bard said, "Has the actor ever played a good guy?" I think he means Cromwell guy.
Yeah, Richard Lynch.
I think he did play like in Star Trek and some. I saw some pictures there. He was in. I don't know if he played a good guy though. That's a good question. I did learn an interesting fact. Why he played a lot of bad guys was because in 1967 he took acid and he set himself on fire. And because he burned a bit of his face, and it gave him that kind of like scary look. That's his words. That's why he then played a lot of villains and stuff like that. It's kind of gnarly story though, but yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm looking at the scene progression there, and yeah, he basically tells the not real guard played by Talon there to kill everybody in the chamber as he's leaving. So yeah, I think maybe he's just like, okay, something's up. Kill everybody. So yeah.
I mean, we could think like back. He said, "What are you doing here? This is not a place for you." He said it in a sweet way, but think of it in another way. Why would a woman come to the torture chamber with, even though...
I didn't see exactly why she came to the torture chamber, and he is right to suspect her or something.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like, why would any other woman come down to the torture chamber? Like, you would naturally like stay away because you don't want to see something like that, unless you really, 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 really loved her, loved Cromwell. Or you have, or you have an ulterior motive, which she did have. So,
or she's been watching 50 Shades of Grey way too many times.
Yeah.
Oh, let's not mention that movie. I freaking hate those stuff. I hate the 50 Shades. Oh, I can't believe how a lot of people bought that book. Oh man, I heard it even like you couldn't even barely read that book. Like there were so many typos and the sentence structure was so bad. Like
I didn't look at it. Don't look at me.
Isn't it-
I didn't have a review of that.
Yeah, that's what I heard. That it was so bad, so I couldn't believe that it even sold that. Well, that much. I guess. Yes, some people like that. So then she basically starts to try to rescue Micah. I guess they're in love. I think so, right? Then Talon comes in and does basically strikes the chains off him.
Yeah.
And saves the day.
Use it or put it away.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, yeah, I forgot to say, Talon really does. When I was watching this again, I do definitely get the Han Solo vibe. I did think I mentioned that before, probably on the last stream. But yeah.
Yeah, he's got that rogue with a heart of gold kind of thing.
Yeah, definitely. It is playing on that thing. So then they carry him out. Side. Wait.
Oh, yeah. Okay, forget what I said earlier. this movie has kind of got the... Yeah.
I forgot about this already. Even when you explained who she was, I didn't remember this scene, even though I just watched this. So okay, now we're in Star Wars Empire Strikes Back territory.
Space Alabama territory.
Yeah, kissing your sister. I guess he didn't know about it, but yeah, that's. But did she know about? No, she didn't either. Yeah, that's. Is that why they don't mention that she's who she is in the movie? You think?
Yeah, I think maybe they cut out that particular aspect. Like maybe it was more pronounced in a version of the movie, and
Right.
because the only reason I know is because like the credits are arranged a certain way, and you can see like okay, this is this person younger during the earlier part, but it's
Right.
really not referenced in any way by Cromwell or anybody. So I'm thinking maybe if this was a plot point that just got slashed out during editing. So this is just the last remaining bit of it.
Yeah. Lord Olek does point out no one knows Talon's true identity. All right, yeah, that's true. It is that is one of the fantastic points of the movie at the end when it is revealed, or he reveals only to Cromwell, and it pays off. And that's
Renegade Bard says, if you can't keep it in your pants, keep it in the family.
Oh, that's horrible. That's horrible. Oh no. No, 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 no. We say no. As the French would say, no.
No.
No, tabarnak.
Why?
He's also puzzled.
Yeah, it's like,
why you
does
kiss
that
me?
feel familiar?
Yeah. Moving on. We're moving on. We're moving on. We're moving on. We're moving on. We do not keep it in the family in this stream. We move on.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, back at the castle.
Yeah, disavow. YouTube, I disavow everything. No, I think it was this. This part. This sounds like Indiana Jones, like The Last Crusade or the first movie. Listen to this. This next part. Now, doesn't that sound like?
It does have that same kind of like adventure movie feel to it, yeah.
Yeah, it does sound a lot like Indiana Jones, like in the same. Yeah, same style. But I was just struck by that. Yeah, it's not a bad thing in that sense. I mean, Indiana Jones. Yeah, the Goonies, says the Renegade Bard.
Mm-hmm.
So then we basically get his escape. Well, he tries to escape, but he is.
Yeah,
I think he is. Oh yeah. I remember. Then we get flies through the window, I think.
And
yeah, that's definitely the swashbuckler thing. A lot of like swinging in this movie. I think it was.
Don't know if anybody swing on a chandelier in this movie, because that would be like that
yeah,
swashbuckler right there.
Have you seen the movie Scaramouche?
Scaramouche?
Yeah, Scaramouche, I think.
Nope.
From 1950. I would think you would like it quite a lot. It's quite a lot. It's a really great fencing movie. It's got a lot of fantastic fencing in that movie. I used to watch that a lot as a kid. A lot of fencing, really great fencing in that, and then good plot as well. It's a really good movie. Definitely check it out if you like that swashbuckler.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Style. Oh yeah, Lord of Lek. That's another point. Lord of Lek says Alana looks a lot like Marion from Indy too, from Indiana Jones. That's true. She does look like her sister or younger cousin or something. She does. That's interesting. Very similar looking. Then he basically falls on Cromwell's harem.
He falls right into a brothel, or the maybe since she's still
The
in
harem.
I'm thinking this is like
The
it's
harem.
Cromwell's
The harem.
harem.
It's harem, and basically kisses her, and she's melting in his hand immediately. It's interesting that they help Talon. So they basically hinder the guards.
Mm.
And later on in the movie, they help as well. It's kind of strange in a way. I guess Cromwell is not the nicest of guys.
Yeah, they also help
his-
ensure that the film had an R rating.
Yeah. That's another interesting trivia bit. You can read it on the trivia page, but the lead actress they were trying to force her to do nude scenes, like force her. They were going to blacklist her if she didn't agree to do nude scenes. And then she went to Albert Pyun and told him about this, and he just said, "F him, you don't have to do anything like that." Basically, just
Good on him.
yeah,
Good on him.
yeah, definitely good on him. They did a bit of the behind, I guess, and that was
that's
it.
coming up very soon.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool. Like forcing someone, like with blacklisting though. Like that's horrible.
This is Hollywood we're talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah. I know that
And,
it's.
I mean, this is
it
the
is-
land of your Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah, this is the land of Harvey Weinstein and all the worst ritual and all that horrible stuff that you can think of, and
Yeah.
even worse. From former Hollywood people who've told that it's even worse than you can think, and everything's true that you hear, but it's even worse. And I definitely agree. There's, I mean, like Elijah Wood has even talked about that. There's rings, the P rings that work around Hollywood with even judges and police. But anyway, enough of that.
I'd love to stay, but
Yeah, I love to stay. But he has to go. Then they help. That's basically what we see of her. So we don't get struck for that. But yeah,
I mean, it's for educational purposes only. Those films are really
it's nice. Then he is distracted by. That's the what's that? The classic Looney Tunes, Goofy or something like that, falling down. Yeah, exactly. That's, playing to that.
It's also like, wait, didn't I leave you in a tavern? What the hell are you doing here? And just like bonk.
Yeah.
Gorsh.
Gorsh indeed.
It's that
Also,
funny
I just
trope.
like the fact that I'm around people who understand the meaning of gorsh.
Well, it's a civilized term.
Mm.
Basically, he just keeps on running. They didn't capture him as
Yeah.
of yet. But this is a nice scene where he is apprehended, I think.
Well, first there's the moment where they run past him, and he's just like hidden in the doorway, just like thinks, "All right, I'm free. I'm free and clear. All right." And then,
Yeah. He stumbled into Castle Anthrax. Renegade Bar. 10 seconds of charm in the harem, and they are on Talon's side. Lord of Leg. Yeah, basically.
well, Talon has that effect on a lot of people in this movie.
Yeah, it's that commanding charm. And to be fair, he Lee Horsley does pull it off. It's not fake in that sense, at least so he did. That was one of the well, that's not the but the reason why they did. Did I mention that they didn't make a sequel was because he got a TV gig right after this. So that's why the sequel didn't happen. He was 3 years making a TV show, and that's unfortunately.
Sword and Sorcerer, and then immediately,
Yeah, he did a TV show.
Gotta
So
use the washroom real quick.
that killed the whole momentum. I think they couldn't. He was under
Yeah,
contract.
they're gonna recast him.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. They could have just recast him or a different character. So they could definitely have made. I don't know why.
He was actually nominated for the Saturn Award for Best Actor for this role.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting. Interesting. I wouldn't have thought this would have gotten anything.
But he did reappear in Tales of an Ancient Empire as Talon in 2010.
Yeah. That trailer looks horrible, though. Have you seen it?
CG. It's not exactly as good as practical stuff. Cheap CG looks worse than cheap practical effects.
Yeah. Well, that's what I meant when we talked last on this same topic. Today's problem with the low budget, it's because they have the CGI option. They don't go the practical option. At least some don't, or quite a lot of them don't. So they have that bad CGI, and it just looks so bad. At least with practical, you can kind of like it's still real, even though it's not the best, maybe. But the CGI is so fake.
Have better reactions from the actors to something that's physically there.
Yeah.
It's not that you're then adding in post, which is
exactly. So the whole really fake CGI, like really bad CGI, it's just it pops out so badly. It's basically impossible to ignore, even if you want to like give it a leeway, to ignore it. But it's like you could with practical effects, but you really can't with really bad CGI. Because like take it for example, like a CGI where you're standing in a place and there's like a green screen behind you, and there's some image, and you're supposed to act that you're in this environment, but you can see clearly that because the CGI is so bad that it basically bleeds through, the actor, and it kills everything immediately. The whole
it completely ruins whatever verisimilitude the scene actually had.
Yeah, exactly. Like
people like us are willing to accept a lot of weird stuff in our movies that most normal people would not be able to. Our ability to suspend our disbelief is much greater than that of the average, moviegoer who doesn't, necessarily really like sword and sorcery movies or science fiction movies, precisely because they're unable to suspend their disbelief to that point.
Yeah.
When we're disappointed in something like that, that means you really messed up.
Yeah. So I think probably in that movie, the sequel from 2010, there's probably a lot of CGI like backgrounds or the environment, but like here it's real, in this movie. All the the stuff, either location or built on a set, but it looks real. So the immersion is you're like immediately many steps forward in the project before a bad CGI movie. Like you're already a lot of, even if the movies maybe both are terrible, but still the one movie is already many steps ahead of the bad CGI movie.
I'm looking. I found it on YouTube, and oh god, the lighting in some of these scenes looks horrible.
Oh, the whole movie is on
light. It's like
the whole movie is on YouTube.
Yeah, poor YouTube.
Camera
poor YouTube. I mean, YouTube has its fair share of crap, so I would say
terrible. Oh my god. Oh
yeah, that was another thing I was thinking about today when thinking about these directors. What is it that made all it's not just Albert Pyun, but like Ridley Scott and other directors, why do their later work get progressively worse than their early work? That's one thing I really don't.
It's a peculiar thing that happens because with writers, they typically get better with age and experience, such as Howard and Tolkien. But then you look at a lot of directors, some get better. I found that Lucas got better with age. But you look at, like Ridley Scott, his Kingdom of Heaven, I think in my opinion, is the high point of his career. I really love
Scott.
That's what I meant. Yeah,
Yeah.
the director's cut was perfect.
I think it's
But-
his last good movie, but it's not the
Yeah,
high point. I think.
Exactly it. But it's the
I
last
think-
good film by him.
I think Blade Runner and Legend are his high point. But yeah.
Oh, okay.
My dad would have probably said Gladiator.
Oh yeah, Gladiator. Yeah, that's a great movie. But that's the strange thing that a lot of directors like get worse that were very good, like really great in the beginning. Another one I would say is James Cameron, though he hasn't made a lot of movies, but like
But he's
Avatar,
making
just
exceptionally influential ones.
Yeah.
yeah. But
Cameron-
Avatar is like it's such
Cameron-
a boring movie.
Terminator 1 and 2, great movies. I find
Alien.
everything he did after, like Terminator
No,
2 for the most part, is just
Piranha 2, The Spawning.
I love True Lies. I think that's a
Oh,
fantastic,
True Lies is a good movie, yeah.
that's a fantastic movie. The dialogue is so good in that.
Mhm.
You really couldn't make it today. Tom Arnold's dialogue is so good in that movie. It's hilarious.
Yeah. You have movies like The Abyss that very much has that kind of like, sci-fi, but also has a lot of heart to it.
Yeah, I think but anyway, Titanic and then Avatar and then Avatar until the Infinity and Beyond. We get Avatar and don't really care anymore. But yeah, there's some other directors I'm completely blanking now, but maybe you guys remember some other directors, but I can't remember.
Arguments have been made for Spielberg.
Oh yeah, Spielberg. Yeah, Spielberg definitely another one. I mean, I like the Ready Player One. I mean, it's okay, but I mean, it's not it's nowhere near a great movie.
And also, it's Ready Player One, so like,
yeah. I didn't see his movie like Bridge of Spies, but I mean, he did win some Oscars, but I mean, it didn't really look that good, in my opinion. But what do I know? Lord of Lex said, I'll take stop motion skeleton fighting Perseus over most CGI today. Yeah, that's facts. The Renegade.
I would think it was actually Jason and the Argonauts, though, not Perseus.
yeah.
Perseus is not a
Jason
scorpion.
and the Argonauts movie was great.
Also, there was skeleton fighting in the Sinbad movies from the same era.
Yeah.
They had this stop animation.
And they reused them as a nod to them, to the Jason and the Argonauts movie in Hercules' Legendary Journeys.
Nice.
Nice. I actually haven't seen Jason and the Argonauts.
It's a great movie.
It's a great movie. Wolf is a bit disappointed in the sense that it's like, when do we get to the skeletons? Okay, this, and then it's just over, and it's like, what? The movie's over? Oh, come on.
That's the only thing. But it's still a great movie.
Oh yeah, I still think Clash of the Titans beats it out.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I haven't seen that one either.
1981, right? 1981, right?
Yeah.
That movie is just so good.
I really gotta watch that.
Like
I gotta
the
watch that
lighting on Medusa as she's moving around, the flickering light being done on a stop motion character. Holy crap! The technical experience required to pull that off.
We should review that one. Definitely.
Yep.
Also, again, surprise boobs in that one too.
I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, I'd forgotten. Oh wait, there's boobs and butts in this movie. I didn't really remember that.
I only saw the newer ones, and they were pretty bad. Really boring.
Yeah, they were.
But anyway, the capture of Talon, I thought this was a good scene. Let's see where.
Yeah, you're getting onto is there. They run fast. He just walks away, and then crap.
But this, I mean,
who dies first?
This, I think this was really well done. Once again, like you could play another B movie could have just done the really basics, like they just taken him captive and then taken him to Cromwell. But I love that they reveal that Cromwell is right there.
Yeah,
I'll be the first.
Like I'll be the first.
Yeah,
like that's fantastic. And then the
here's the
guard
thing, yeah, he
steps
doesn't
aside.
hide behind his men. He could easily just think of, but he's the kind of guy who wants to take that personal touch, and it separates him out from like your regularly, again, mustache twirling villainy. He has a bit of honor to him in that regard, not necessarily in his early years when he was using black magic to conquer the kingdom and stuff like that. But he is very much the kind of guy. He's the guy who killed Talon's mom. He is very much the gets his hands dirty kind of villain.
Yeah. So I know I like this reveal. That was fantastic. Really nice touch.
Yeah.
Like, I
then
was
Talon, his expression changes immediately.
Yeah.
Don't act as if you don't know who I am. Zusha.
That's great. Once again, playing to the paranoia.
And there's another aspect of this that that I'm thinking about is that there's a possibility of he comes out so that he doesn't look weak in front of his men. Because as someone who's going a little nuts and not trusting anyone around him, if he stays back and lets the minions do it, at this point, people are going to call him a coward. And he can't have that.
Yeah. He's definitely... Yeah, there's been quite a few mishaps already with apprehending the rebellion is like that's a really big blemish in his reign.
Mm-hmm.
Basically saying that he doesn't have control, or he has a real weakness in his kingdom, that he can't take care of this rebellion that's in his midst.
Here demonstrating that he is capable, he is strong, he has the authority and the power necessary to take down this lone intruder who's made a mockery of his guard.
Yeah. I was just checking. There was some comments about CGI or no CGI. It boils down to the writing. Well, I kind of agree for the most part, but then if it's really bad CGI, like it can be so distracting. Like we were talking about before, like if all the backgrounds bleeds through the actor, like it's like the worst screensaver ever. I mean, even if the writing is incredible, it's gonna be quite hard to
And also in general, if you're gonna be that irresponsibly bad with your special effects, chances are you're not going to be having the budget to hire some good actors to read your magnificent script too.
Yeah, that's true. I heard kind of like Albert Pyun, the director, when he later on when he made movies, he just I think he maybe he got a bit how would you say it? Not depressed per se, but about like he couldn't make the movies that he really wanted to make because he was basically relegated to B movie or even C movie director status. So he just started to make the movies faster and faster and with speed, cutting corners and not really investing himself at all in them. Unlike here, he's really invested in this movie, I feel.
Yeah, well, it was his first feature film director credit.
Exactly. So he must be, because he even talked about, that he was trying to shop it out around. He was really trying to sell it to many places. So he was really championing the movie, obviously. But that later on, it seems like looking at the sequel to this from 2010 and other stuff I've seen on the YouTubes, it seems like it's real like a rush job. There's no real love anymore left to what he's doing, unlike his early movies. So
so sad.
Yeah, that's kind of also like we were talking, like the CGI is bad, so that might also play a role. Like why you cut corners with the CGI, you don't want to make the effort anymore, basically.
But I mean, also look at the cinematography in this. The torchlight on them, the deep shadows.
Oh
the
yeah,
visual styling of this movie is worlds apart from the one we're talking about here. This one is
exactly. Especially this scene at the wedding, the fight, which is slow motion. That really opera like scene is really cool. By the way, the sequel, Brothers Grin, has Kevin Sorbo in it. Did you know?
Sorry, you guys just cut out.
Oh, the sequel to this movie. Yeah,
the sequel to this has Kevin Sorbo. Hercules. No?
Are the brothers frozen or something?
Not frozen. I don't think they can hear us.
Hello?
Yeah, I think.
Hello?
Well, we can hear you brokenly. Everything's starting to come in pieces.
Oh
like,
no.
You guys, it's getting a little staticky and weird. But I'll just look up Kevin Sorbo since you guys mentioned him being in the sequel. And we're big fans of his, so don't mind us. Oh, we look that up.
Yeah,
keep going.
Yeah, I just meant like I like Kevin Sorbo as well. It's unfortunate that the movie sucks. So that was just my point. If you didn't know, he was in the movie, in the sequel.
He's been in his fair share of stinkers.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of small time actors have to do quite a lot of stinkers. Lord of Lex says the movie feels like everyone's actually on board and not just doing a job. Yeah, definitely. This movie does feel like that. So anyway, we get the.
It's your old friend, Crop.
Also, Talon is like, Susha? Who's that? And he's kind of thrown off by Cromwell's.
Thrown off, but now he recognizes. He just mentioned Cromwell, and is like, "Oh, I know who you are."
Cromwell.
But yeah, that's kind of interesting that he didn't realize it earlier, or did? Surely not. That this is the reveal that he understands that Cromwell is the killer of his parents. I mean, he obviously went to the kingdom.
Yeah,
right.
He knows who Cromwell is. He knows, but he didn't recognize him immediately because it's been so long since he's seen the man.
Oh, right.
He's been through a lot since then. So now he just he didn't immediately recognize the guy, but now that he knows who it is, it's like it's all the flash, well, literally flashing back to him, and he's like, "Oh, you're dead."
So did you think that he was like, when he in the beginning of the movie, when he comes to the city of Edan, is it because of Cromwell, or that he knows that he's the guy who murdered his parents, or he's traveling with his mercenary group to this city just for whatever purposes, and he happens upon this rebellion where he then rolls into everything else?
Well, we don't know what his intentions would have been had he not run into the rebellion, but he's passing by this city. He hasn't been in this part of the world for quite some time, and is like, all right, it's about time I checked up on things back home, see how things are going, and see what the hell has been happening since I've been gone. I don't know what exactly I'm going to be doing there.
Right.
May kill some people, but I'm sure they all deserve it.
Yeah, because I was under the impression that he went with a purpose to this city, Adon. But now I'm thinking like, wait a second, maybe he didn't really exactly know, or because it's been so long, like you said, because he's been
back at the movie here. He says one of his men asks, "Why are we stopping here, General?" And he says, "I have a debt to pay."
Oh, right. Yeah. He did.
So he's definitely he's definitely coming after Cromwell. He just gets sidetracked a bit by Alana and company.
Right. I mean, you could also take he means something else with the debt to pay, but obviously it means the debt to his parents to avenge. But right, so then it maybe is that he doesn't remember this scene, maybe.
Well, I think it's just that he didn't immediately recognize the guy because he hasn't seen
Right.
the guy to like
Yeah.
a decade or so. It's like it's like when you like come back to your high school reunion and it's like
Yeah.
you're reminded with name tags exactly who everybody is. It's the same kind of thing.
Yeah, the memory basically comes back like
Yeah.
vividly. You remember like, oh yeah, this was it. Like
Sadly,
this
it
is
looks
the
like
guy.
the brothers Kryn are having some technical issues. Looks like they have a storm that started. It's true, we have had a lot of snow here in Quebec too, so it looks like it's probably worse where they are.
Oh, can you guys join again, or is it
Well, they're just saying their internet is kind of shot, so
right? Well, you guys can try to join again. Let's see if you're over here. No, you're not over here, right? So just check back. If you guys can join, then join.
Okay, they're gonna try. Yeah,
Right.
I get it, guys. It's definitely frustrating. And I've had this kind of problem too.
Yep, same.
Although in my case, it's probably because I left my VPN on, and it's just like, why is my streaming software not working properly? Oh, that's my fault.
Yeah.
And now, Talon's got his face on.
But I'll gladly test your steel, old friend.
Yeah, that's very well delivered, old friend.
Like, I don't know who this Zusha guy is, but you and I have beef, even if you don't know it.
Yeah. That's why I like at the end as well. He's like, I have no quarrel with you. It's like even though he sees like it's a bad sorcerer, like it's a really bad situation.
Yeah.
I have no quarrel with you. Like, you can leave.
All right. I think the guys are back to come in.
Right. Nice.
All right, we're back.
Welcome back.
You are back.
Yeah, sorry about this. It keeps breaking up, and like,
no worries.
Our internet just keeps getting weird.
Well, yeah, if you're having a storm nearby, it's probably going to be doing that.
Yeah, but you guys can still hear us, right?
Yeah. I can barely hear you guys. 1 second. I'm just changing a few things.
Oh, that's...
Yep.
True.
Now I can hear you.
All right.
Okay.
Good.
Awesome.
But the studio, I'm now switched over to the YouTube stream.
Yeah.
It's on a delay.
Yeah.
We're on an
so
audio delay.
For
either breaking up or delay.
Right. Well, we'll take the delay.
Yeah.
Basically get a nice fight here. Can't remember how long was this fight.
Not too long.
He's mine.
All right, yeah, he wants to.
Yeah, because he's convinced he's Zusha and he wants to finish what he started.
Yeah. So he basically chases after Talon. Oh yeah, I thought this fight was a really good. This
yeah,
it's quite
down the water.
Yeah, this and excellent choice of set and location to have them fight in the water with nice background.
Yeah, like
yeah,
the green lighting there.
Yeah. And with knives as well. That's a nice touch as well.
Close,
like
him throwing his cloak or to try and distract.
Yeah. Nice music as well. Like this is one of the
water
best scenes in here. Really good choice. Also mix it up so it's not with the movie is quite a lot in the red red hue with the red smoke, or smoke and red and all that stuff. So it's a good
Ironically,
mix.
this scene where these two are fighting, and the ladder at the end when these two are fighting, is also in a kind of a greenish, dark, wet.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Yeah.
it has a recurring theme to that.
Yeah, that's interesting. Both of the best fights are in the green. But yeah, that's a good fight. Definitely check it out if you haven't.
Oh yeah, that's one's getting worse. Oh yeah.
It goes on for quite a while as well, so it's not a short fight either. So that's good. All right, yeah. It's interesting that he doesn't kill him immediately after this. I mean, Cromwell. I guess this goes back to what you said, like about the honor, even though that it's a bit strange to see that he has that kind of honor, because he did use a sorcerer plague and all that,
Character development, I guess. He's the kind of person who was willing to use those kinds of horrible tactics back then, but he's kind of like wise and says, I never should have dealt with that sorcerer in the past, because he's had to fear him for so long.
Right.
Possibly.
Yeah. It is still interesting that he does want to Talon also pays that back at the end when he decides not to use his sword, the shooting thing on Cromwell. He's like, I'll show you back like steel against steel, not against some tricks, but let's finish this. Now that I think about it, that actually pays off in that way as well. That's that's a good part that he doesn't basically just backstab him.
Or front rocket stab him in the latter case.
How dare you intercede?
I like that he tosses him right into the water there.
Yeah, it's like, what? You, this was my fight. Why do you guys steal my thunder?
Yeah. I mean, he wanted to finish the job. Kill Zusha. Ironically, Zusha's right in front of him.
I think down and dirty, but
yeah.
Majesty,
We get
what is a mistake? Boy. He must be one of Zusha's demons.
all right, yeah. He basically convinces him that it is one of Zusha's servants.
Yeah, he recognized, okay, this is not Zusha, because whacking him over the head with a, whatever the hell, a rod or whatever, wouldn't have done that.
Yeah, exactly.
freaking.
I agree with Lord of Lect. All telecom in Canada is shameful, really, perhaps understandably so, but still, yeah.
Yeah, get your act together, Canada. Start with Trudeau.
I mean, no disrespect.
Basically, then.
Yeah.
Fine, fool. Pity we won't learn who's better.
It's an interesting shot here. Is this like stock footage of from Constantinople? Because I think he did use some stock footage in this, so that's interesting. It does look like it. Then we're just thrown to Micah here. They're taking care of him. Obviously, you know, if you've been whipped really good, it doesn't take actually a lot of whip strikes to die from the shock and infection. Actually,
Yeah, those things are a good whip will really do a lot of damage.
yeah, really,
Well, at the very least, it'll hurt like hell.
yeah, a lot of damage. This one makes me wonder why they used it quite a lot in the Navy, the British Navy. I think they used whipping. It's kind of like might not be the best of ideas.
Well, if you got all the salt around you to rub in the wounds, you may as well do it, right?
Yeah, that's one of the I think they say happened. The bounty,
Mm.
the rebellion. They whipped.
Yeah.
They whipped them too much, and then they mutinied. But also, they weren't regular sailors. That's regular army or navy sailors. That's what I learned. I was like, oh, they. I think they were more like auxiliary navy sailors. So they didn't have the discipline like the army that was stationed on. But anyway,
looks like we've lost the bros here. They're currently on their text. They're chatting on their phone.
all right.
Yeah, their connection is completely shot at this point. Well, he managed to make another half hour into the movie.
Yeah, I mean, we could. It's not that much left of this. We could finish it. Depends what the brothers, the commentary. They would probably want to. Would they want to comment on the end of the movie?
Mm-hmm.
I think some of the best points are coming up still.
Yeah.
The wedding.
The final battle.
The final battle. Yeah, those are definitely
the
great.
reveal of Zusha.
There's.
Yeah. Well, they're saying we should finish, so.
Are you guys sure, brothers? Are you sure? You don't want to? I mean, we can.
Well, if they want, they can write down what they want in the chat, and I'll read it out for them. So.
Yeah. Yeah. There was a. Oh, we'll get to that when we get there. But anyway, so basically, there with Micah here, they learned that
Talon's been captured. Yeah.
Talon's been captured. Yeah. Obviously, the sister is.
Alana's to be married to Cromwell tonight.
All right.
Yeah. Really pisses off Micah. Lord of Lex says it would be a natural ending point for a 3-part series.
Yeah, that's me.
The Sword and the Sorcerer trilogy.
Oh, so many parts. Well, I'm down to whichever, but
I call it heads or tails.
We could definitely also. I mean, the brother screen said we should finish, but
it's not the same without him.
Yeah. What does Lord of Lek say?
Lord of Lek.
What does the guy
decide?
Yeah, all the guys in the chat.
What say thee, chat?
What say thee? Art thou finished?
Wilt thou allow me to go get dinner or not?
Wilt thou want a third party?
Enchiladas.
Third party. Yeah, I mean it sucks because there's a couple really cool points with the wedding. It reminded me of another wedding. Also, Zusha's reveal.
Yeah, another wedding with crossbows. But Lord of Lex says it's been another 2 hours. You're gonna have to make it a trilogy. And Brothers Crin says not with a smiley face.
Oh, what does that mean? Not.
But with a smiley face, a winking smiley face, no less.
Yeah, I mean, are you guys? What do you think about Saturday? Did you
Saturday? I have my family coming to visit. So
yeah, that was right.
But hell, if we want to do the same time next week, we can do it.
Yeah, I was just thinking about it earlier, but yeah, that's true. There's also another point which you just reveal that reminded me of another story as well.
Yeah.
That's interesting to talk about.
Plus, added benefit, we would start the very next episode in a whorehouse. So, I mean, that's a great intro right there.
Oh right. Oh yeah. The mercenary group. Yeah. The mercenary group. Oh yeah. I forgot there. There.
They get brought back into things. Because it's not fair to say to the brothers to keep going.
No. Yeah. That's what I mean. Like, we definitely want to have their input. It's
listen, like Lord of Lex says, it's a great break point. We've reached pretty much the end of the second act, and now we're going into the third act. So hey, it's perfect.
Yeah. We did diverge a lot, but I guess that's the point. Also, like you want to have some other discussion points in the movie as well, what they remind you of and stuff like that. So it's not
exactly
all the same all the time. See, remove. Wait, this. There we go. It's a really good break point. Yeah. Yeah, we could. I guess we have to make it a trilogy. I didn't think we were going to make it a two-parter.
Well, think of all the great things that come in threes.
Yeah, I guess we're making it a three-parter. Let's see.
Yeah. Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, Alana nutting, kicking people in the nuts. Us.
Yeah.
Lord of Lex says, "I promise I'll do my best to catch the next one live again." You did. You better.
Yeah, definitely. Come back with the commentary, because when we did the Conan the Barbarian review, it was straight on for 5 and 6 hours.
Wow.
But it flew by. The time flew by. Like, when you're talking about a great movie with a lot of different themes that you can immediately grab on, you can see like where the parts being taken. There's quite a lot of stories they've taken. There's the Thing in the Crypt they've taken from that movie, the Conan story. There's the A Witch Shall Be Born, like you said.
Yeah. And of course, Thulsa Doom coming from Kull.
Yeah, Thulsa Doom coming from Kull. There's also stories where Conan meets Thulsa Doom, pastiche stories. Of course, novels. So, yeah. Next one will be Dragon Hour, right?
Yeah.
That will be next Tuesday, guys. Next Tuesday.
Hour of the Dragon.
The Hour of the Dragon. Chapters. Was it 9 and 10? I think
so.
9 and 10.
This earlier.
We'll do those, and then we'll get back to this movie talking about the climax of the Sword and the Sorcerer. Two of the best parts in that movie at the end, with the wedding, as I said, and the
wedding and the fight and the final battle.
Yeah, the final battle. There's some really good stuff right there. I guess that gives some of you guys, if you want to watch it again, or you haven't watched it in a long while, to catch up. Some of you who watch this later on, you can get up to speed. So we can.
We will pick it up at a later time.
Yeah, we can all be up to speed as well. But yeah, I guess we should then. I guess we should then close out the. Yeah, call it an evening, sir, and close out these great stream. It was really fun talking with you, Zero Sum, and the Brothers Grin, and
it's always a pleasure doing things with all three of you guys.
Yeah, it's always fun. It's the chat, great guys there, new guys as well. fantastic that you join. Please come and join again. Give us your pointers. Give us your ideas, themes, what you made, like what you thought of the movie, and all like different scenes. What it maybe reminded you of. Like there's quite a few points where I was like reminded of like Call stories and
the thing
other stuff.
that brings good movies and bad movies together is that they always give you a lot to talk about.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Unless it's a really bad movie, like in a
really, really bad movie, it'll give you lots of things to talk about, just how bad it is.
Okay. Yeah, that's true.
It's the middle of the road. It's fine. Movies that don't give you much to talk about because there's nothing there really. They're not bad. They're not good. They're just Those ones are the worst when it comes to making an in-cap commentary on. You want something that's really good, or you want something that's really terrible.
Yeah, that's true.
At least for YouTube video purposes.
Yeah. Let me see. Right. There's that one. Yeah.
Lord of Luck says a bad movie is better than a mediocre one. Mediocrity is. Ugh.
Yeah, that's true. When there's really nothing to. I've seen like quite a few bad movies that have had a good soundtrack has elevated the movie. Like you could enjoy it more and even forgive something, like because the music was better than a mediocre movie's music. You like forgive other stuff. And
it's like there's a reason why so bad it's good is an expression as opposed to so mediocre it's good. No one's ever going to confuse mediocrity for good.
Yeah, by the numbers.
At the very least, a bad movie can make you laugh at how bad it is.
Yeah, by the numbers. Like I hate like spy thrillers, like most of them. That like they just feel like the same movie, like all the time. Like I don't know. I feel they are so mediocre. Most spy movies can't really.
Yeah, Brothers couldn't say a Brit soundtrack can change the mood of a movie. That right there.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I 100% agree with this because I don't know, I play music myself and make music myself, so music is quite important for me, the mood and all that.
You're in the band, right?
Well, yeah, I'm got just solo stuff, my own stuff, but like on this channel, I made a song, for example, the tribute to Vangelis. That's my music.
Nice.
So, for example, and then other music. So that's stuff important. That's why I love like David Lynch, for example. Like if his movies had really bad music, I probably wouldn't watch them because his movies with the music it's so integral to his films, the music, the stories, what he's trying to tell.
I mean, just that opening like theme from Dune. Da, da,
oh yeah, that's fantastic.
David Lynch is so good a director that he can make Toto come out with a good soundtrack.
Yeah, that's a great soundtrack. That's a fantastic soundtrack. But others like Mulholland Drive, great soundtrack. I think Blue Velvet had a good soundtrack, if I remember.
Twin Peaks.
Twin Peaks. Oh yeah. Oh, I love. Have you seen the video where Angelo Badalamenti, rest in peace, when he composes the theme music for Twin Peaks? That's a fantastic video to watch. It's just yeah, you can check it on YouTube. It's like 7 minutes long. It's not that long, but it's like he tells how he and David Lynch made the song, and it's like I can completely picture it. It's David Lynch is that guy. Like he feels like yeah, just like that. Yeah, and then
he's a perfectionist. I know that for one of the sets in Blue Velvet, he was personally adding the dust bunnies under the radiator.
Yeah,
that's the kind of guy you're talking about there.
But it was fantastic the way they made the theme, and that theme is so good that it starts in the woods. Like Lynch says, like picture you're in the woods, like he says to Angela, like picture you in the woods. Yes, that's it. You're in the woods. Then she comes out of the woods, like and he tells like Badalamenti, like this is the way, and then you go there, and then it's yes, exactly. Like this is really, really cool. And Badalamenti just like he interprets like what he's saying, like plays along, and builds and crescendo, and then goes out. Like it's what a great duo. Like how to able to like Badalamenti, how he could just understand what Lynch was just saying. He could make like
Which
the
is more
melody.
than a lot of people can say.
Yeah, to make the melody like yeah. To make the melody like that, it's great. Every early Tarantino had great soundtracks, but I'll take a good score over that in time. Yeah, I mean Tarantino just does basically songs from different bands.
Yeah, he makes scores out of. He's like a great when it comes to audio. He's a great remix artist in many ways.
Yeah. Hateful Eight did have a soundtrack by
Ennio Morricone.
Ennio Morricone, so that props for that. That's incredible composer. I mean,
yeah, oh yeah.
One of the greats.
Did, music for that movie right there that I've got there, Danger Diabolic.
Oh yeah. I don't know if I've seen that movie.
That was a pretty fun movie. It's based on an Italian comic book supervillain.
Right.
Yeah. It's one of those comic books where the supervillain is the main character.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. We did the whole soundtrack.
I loved his Sergio Leone movies. This beautiful work. Great soundtracks. Masterpieces.
Yeah, music by Ennio Morricone.
Yeah. The soundtracks to the Dollar trilogy and other Leone movies. Incredible. Absolutely incredible.
Masterworks.
Oh yeah, Masterworks. Or have you seen Once Upon a Time in America?
Yeah, with Robert De Niro.
Robert De Niro, yeah. It's a great score as well.
Once Upon a Time in the West.
Yeah, fantastic. And Once Upon a Time, The Revolution. Great.
Yeah. AKA Fistful of Dynamite, AKA Duck You Sucker for some stupid reason.
Yeah, it's. I just like the.
They only thought that was a well-known American expression, so that's what he titled it for the American release.
Yeah, Once Upon a Time, The Revolution would have been great, the best title. That was titled in French in France, I think.
C'était pour la Révolution, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah,
it would have been perfect because then you have Once Upon a Time, The Revolution, Once Upon a Time in the West, Once Upon a Time in America. It becomes the Once Upon a Time trilogy as opposed
like
to
the Dollar trilogy. Yes, exactly. Definitely. He has a movie I haven't seen. His first movie, The Colossus of Rhodes, which he took over. I have not seen that movie. I don't know if it's any good, but that will be an interesting watch someday.
1961 adventure drama. Yeah, it's like a sword and sandal kind of picture.
Yeah, he took over that because the I don't know, was fired, I guess, the previous director.
Of the island of Rhodes during its classical period in the late 3rd century BCE, before coming under Roman control, using the Colossus of Rhodes as a backdrop for the story of a war hero who becomes involved in 2 different plots to overthrow a tyrannical king, one by Rhodian patriots and the other by Phoenician agents.
It could be good.
Credited director.
Yeah, it could be good, but I don't think it has his signature style. But which he developed later on. But it's probably a decent movie. But yeah, I guess we have to clock out here.
Yeah,
guys,
we're going over time here.
Yeah, we're going over time, just finishing this up. Unfortunately, we couldn't finish the whole movie with this second parter, so I guess we got to do a third parter. But I mean, hey,
yeah. I mean, you're doing Hour of the Dragon. I was about to say House of the Dragon. Hour of the Dragon chapter by chapter. So, we wouldn't be the first series to do. So.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I mean, the idea was to finish it on this stream, but it's still, it's always fun to hang out another time, talk about the movie again and all the different things.
Colossus of Rhodes was co-written and directed by Sergio Leone. So this is one he did from start to finish.
I think he was the former director was fired first, and he took
the Last Days of Pompeii.
Oh, was that the one?
Yeah, that was the one. It was in 1959. This one was in 1961.
Oh, okay. I thought okay. He had 2 movies then. Okay.
Yeah, before he started doing westerns.
Right.
All right. Thanks a lot for Lord of Lek. Thanks for jumping in. Thanks to you
Yeah.
guys, brothers Corinne. Thanks for, in spite of all the technical issues.
Yeah,
Glad to have you.
definitely. We'll say we'll see you guys next time.